So for the Commas Master Test, we'll go 11 through 20-something, and remember the test was 1 through 10. Number 11, comma, he accordingly titled it. A, C, and D all create comma splices, two complete sentences joined only by a comma. Remember, if you're going to use a comma, you need a conjunction to go with it. That's what B has here. For number 12, the centerpiece is an A positive. It's non-essential information to the sentence that describes the mural. So it should be set apart by commas. The correct answer there was B. 13, food, comma, such as, comma. So this joins two complete sentences with comma, such as. That's an effective transition. But such as should never be followed by a comma. That's why D was the best answer here. For number 14, it follows a comma. These are both complete sentences. If you use a comma alone, it's a comma splice. A, B, and D are all wrong for that reason. C uses the conjunction which. That's why it's right. For 15, which controlled New York City in the 1860s is an A positive, meaning it gives non-essential information about the Tammany Hall group. We can set that apart with two hyphens or with two commas. The first comma, which I have circled, indicates that the second part that's underlined should also be a comma. They have to match. That's why B was the best answer here. For 16, we only need the comma that introduces the quote. We don't need the other ones. That's why C is the best answer here. Should have a comma after commented. The New York Times is not an A positive here. 17. That is easily understood and appreciated is a restrictive clause. The reason why you don't surround it by commas is because it's essential to the meaning of the sentence. It changes everything. That's why B was the best answer. For 18, choice C is the best answer because the pronoun who appropriately introduces a dependent clause defining free riders. A creates a comma splice. B is wrong because it's not clear which people don't contribute. Is it audiences or free riders? And choice D is incorrect because the infinitive phrase, to not make, doesn't make sense in the sentence. Number 19. Reporters with an apostrophe, hyphen. So we do not need the possessive form. That's why A and D are wrong. 19 should be B, because the plural noun reporters is used correctly as the object of the preposition of, and because the colon appropriately joins two independent clauses, indicating that the second clause follows logically from the first. Number 20. D is the best answer because a comma is needed to separate the main independent clause from the dependent clause that describes the lake. The pronoun one is used correctly to refer to its antecedent, Lake 227. A is incorrect because it creates a comma splice. B and C are both wrong because the information that follows the period is not in the form of a complete sentence. 21. A is the best choice here because the comma is used correctly to separate the introductory dependent clause from the independent clause that follows it. B, C, and D are wrong because the comma in each is misplaced. B and D lack a comma where one is needed after the dependent clause. In choice C, while a comma is provided after irresponsible, there is an unnecessary comma after and. For 22, bright green, it was thick with. The correct answer here is B. The colon is used properly to introduce an independent clause that explains or elaborates on the information that came before in the sentence. A is wrong because the colon is misplaced. It should be placed after the word green, not after with. C is incorrect because the dash is not placed correctly. If it were placed after the word green, it could be used. D is wrong because the comma creates a comma splice. 23. B is the best answer. The top here. The participle attracting introduces a dependent clause that appropriately modifies the noun icon. A is wrong because it created a comma splice. C is incorrect because the possessive conjunction to separate, C is correct because the possessive pronoun its makes no sense in the context of the sentence. And D is wrong because a semicolon is used to join two independent clauses, not an independent and a dependent clause like we have here.